Om 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 Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vitvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय. Hari Om. Today we are in the 107th day of this Vedanta Shravana Sadhana Yagna. In the 13th month, we have seen up to verse 16 of the Amrita Bindu Upanishad. In the verse 16 it is said, Shabdaksharam Param Brahma Tasmin Kshine Yad Aksharam Tadvidvan Aksharam Dhyayet Yadi Chet Shantim Atmanaha. If you want to experience peace, you meditate on Shabda Aksharam, the one letter which is at the base of all letters, all words in the alphabet, which is that letter, the letter of Om, which is a combination of three sounds, A, U and Ma. Tasmin Kshine, when that sound gets dissolved, Yad Aksharam, what is there that is invincible, that is indestructible, that cannot be removed at all, that Aksharam, that silence, Tasmin Kshine Brahma Aksharam, be there in that silence. Tad Vidwan, the one who knows this, Aksharam Dhyayet, meditate on that letter Om. If I want to experience peace, that is, what is this last step? If I want to experience peace, my mind should be in a state of quietude. As long as my mind is having desires and expressing out in the world through thoughts, words, and actions, then the results of those thoughts, words, and actions will come back to me. And I have to be dealing with that vasana or that feeling or that experience throughout my life, and my mind will never be quiet. So if I want my mind to be really quiet, drop all those actions which are taking me out into the world, sit quietly in meditation, and when I sit in meditation, I will not be able to drop the desires from the mind because it is very naturally outwardly going. So as a practice, instead of the many desires or the many thoughts in my mind, I focus on one thought, Om. I bring all the thoughts and focus it on that. I leave all the other thoughts as I focus my attention on one. When we focus our attention on one, everything else is left by the side. So I focus my attention on this sound Om, and as I chant Om and I focus my attention, there is a silence in which that sound drops. The sound rises from that silence, drops back into that silence. When I meditate upon that silence, what happens? I attain peace. There is experience of peace. There is experience of joy. There is experience of bliss. If I want that, I should do this. If that is not what I want, then I can continue to do whatever I am doing right now. Verse 18, how long should I keep doing this? How long should I keep chanting Om? And how long should I do all these sadhanas to quieten the mind? Is it forever that I should be holding on to this? The verse 18 says, Granthamabhyasya medhavi Jnana Vijnana Tatparaha Palalamiva Dhanyarthi Tyajet Grantham Asheshataha. Palalam is the husk. In the paddy, when we are removing the rice from the paddy, there is a husk that is around that that fruit, the rice, which is grown in that paddy grain. When we remove that husk and then dehusking, it is called, the process is called dehusking. And after the dehusking is done, the rice will still have some particles of husk in it. So they will call it winnowing to remove all the. Winnowing is like putting it like in a pan and putting the rice up and down so that the husk comes away completely. So the rice is dehusked. Palalam iva dhanyarthi. The one who wants the dhanya, the one who wants that rice inside, will remove the husk. Tyajet. In the same way, give up. What should you give up? Grantham asheshataha. All the scriptures that took us to this Om, and when this Om has taken us to the true self, the silence within, then what do? We have to give up the scriptures. Like the one who has climbed a ladder and reached some state and has to go above higher than that, he will not be holding on to this ladder. He has to give it up. In the same way, Grantham Asheshataha, completely give up all texts, which means even all the Vedic texts. It is not out of disdain, or it is not out of hatred, or it is not out of frustration that you give it up. The text has fulfilled its purpose. With gratitude, give up the Vedas. Who should give it up? Grantham Abhyasya Medhavi. Who is a Medhavi? Medhavi is one who has got Medha Shakti. There is a suktam called Medha Suktam. When you chant that every day, you will get Medha Shakti. Medha Suktam is on Saraswati. Om Yas Chandasam Rishabho Vishwarupaham Chandobhyodhyamritaat Sambhabhuva Samendro Medhaya Aspranotu Amritasya Devadharano Bhuyasam Shariram Me Vicharshanam Jihva Me Madhumattama Karnabhyam Bhuri Vishruvam Brahmana Koshosi Medhaya Pihitaha Shrutam Me Gopaya. So this is a very beautiful suktam on Medha Devi. So Medhavi is a person. What is Medha Shakti and what is Smarana Shakti? Smarana Shakti is the ability to remember forms. When I see something, I remember that object as a name. That is Smarana Shakti. Medha Shakti is the ability to remember the artha, the meaning of that, the core of that object, the use of that object, the function of that object in my life. So that is the Artha Grahana. When a person has studied the Vedas and has understood the essence of the Vedas, the Artha of the Vedas, which is Omkara. Omkara is that which takes us to the divine. It is to study this Omkara that we have all these kinds of subjects that we may study outside in school and college. It is to get education, know the letters, try the art of understanding, try the art of learning, and then we study the Vedas. When we study the Vedas, we know who am I, what is this body, what is this world, who is Ishvara, what is the self, all these things we study. And then the means to attain that self is also taught about chanting the Pranava Mantra or Ishvara Upasana. The means is also taught. When we have taken the means, when we have understood the means, and when we have understood the essence and we have imbibed it, and we have retained it in our mind, that is the Medhavi. Grantham Abhyasya. After Abhyasa. What is Abhyasa? Dirghakala, for a long period of time. What is the Dirghakala? Ajivana Paryantam. You you have to study the tables until the tables is completely by heart. Once the tables is by heart, we don't need to study the multiplication tables every day with the help of book. So that is, by heart means you know the process by which that multiplication works, and you also know that the exact numbers. You've learnt it by heart, and you also know the process of how 2 into 2 becomes 4, or 4 into 4 becomes 16. You know that process. So you can calculate it anytime without a book. So then you can give up. In the same way, you have learned the Vedas. It is not learning by heart. The Artha of the Vedas is Om. When you have known that, when you have realized that, Jnana Vijnana Tat Paraha, and when my intent is now to acquire knowledge and wisdom. What is wisdom? What is knowledge and what is wisdom? Knowledge is knowing, the process is knowledge. When I do this meditation, this is a process with which this happens. This happens to me, and this will happen in the end. That is knowledge. It is information. What is wisdom? That whatever we think that will happen actually is happening through us, and we are experiencing that right now. That is wisdom. Jnana Vijnana Tat Paraha. And when my focus is on knowledge and meditation, there is intuition, knowledge, intuitive knowledge of who I am, and then meditation. When my focus is turned towards that, Palalamiva Dhanyarti, I can give up the Vedas like the rice husk is given up for the person who is seeking to have the rice. Grantham Asheshataha. Should I hold a little bit? No, completely it can be given up. Who is saying this? No ordinary person is saying this. It is the Upanishads that is teaching us, that is giving us the permission rather to do this. Otherwise, the Vedas are considered sacred, and we will not feel like giving it up. We will feel that we have to do it. So the Upanishads is granting us the permission to do that. And when the Upanishads grants us a permission, we don't need to worry about it. Verse 19. The scriptures are many. There are many texts. The Vedas are 4 in number. The Upanishads are many in number. So why, if the truth is only one, why do I need so many scriptures? Ishvara is a person of abundance. There is no minimalism in Ishvara. There is no poverty in Ishvara. Ishvara is a person of plenty. So there is no need for poverty in the scriptures. There is plenty. And in that plenty, the substance and the essence is the same. Like, for example, Gavamaneka Varnanam Kshirasyapyeka Varnatam Kshiravat Pashyate Jnanam Linginasto Gavam Yatham. Gavam Aneka Varnanam. Cows are of many, many types, many, many colors, many, many combinations, many, many descriptions. You have the Jersey cow, you have the Desi cow with a hump and horns and a very beautiful structure of the body. The Jersey cow has got a flat back. There are many, many cows. Gavam Aneka Varnanam. Even among the Desi cows, there are many, many different colors. It is not all the same color. You have the Ongol cows, which are white in color, with a hump in the back. Kshiram, Kshiraha, Kshira, Asya, Api, Ekavarnata. But when the cow is milked and the milk is taken, it is only of one color. Kshiravat Pashyate Jnanam. Think of Jnanam, knowledge, as the milk. For example, I may study the Upanishad, Amrita Bindu Upanishad. I may study Taittiriya Upanishad. I may study Aitreya Upanishad. I may focus my attention on Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Every Upanishad is an object of focus. It is like the cow. But the jnana that comes is coming from me, coming from within, because this is a process of meditation. The process of meditation is you have the object of meditation, which is the Upanishad in this case, which is a thought in our mind. The object of meditation is a thought in my mind. I am focusing my attention on that thought. The thought can be Amrita Bindu Upanishad, which we are doing right now. I am focusing my attention. My attention goes in the form of prana. It covers the whole thought and then it comes back. When it comes back, it displaces the prana here and knowledge is coming out like milk. Knowledge is coming out in the form of wisdom, in the form of awareness, in the form of intuition of the self. That is the knowledge that comes out. So gavam aneka varnanam kshiram api asya eka varnata. Kshiraha asya. The milk of the cows, all the cows is of the same color. Here they are not talking about qualities. Maybe the quality of the milk is different. That's why we have A1 milk and A2 milk and all that. Kshiraha api eka varnata. Only the color of the milk. There is no brown color, there is no yellow color, or there is no black color. All milk is white color or maybe shades of white color. Kshiravat pashyate jnanam. So consider jnana to be like the milk, the color of jnana. Meaning, what is that jnana giving? The jnana is only one. It gives me awareness about who I am. So I am only expressing as that knowledge which I gain. Jnanam linginastu gavam yatha. Linginaha, the many branched scriptures, the knowledge from all the branches of scriptures, which are all different objects of meditation, but the subject is the same. And so the jnana about the subject is only one, like the milk in many different colors of cows. This we have in the Bhagavad Gita Dhyana Shloka. I just got it in my mind. Upanishad. Sarvopanishado gavo dogdha gopalanandana partho vatsasudhir bhokta dugdham Gitamritam Mahat. Sarva Upanishadaha Gavaha. All the Upanishads are cows. Dogdha. The milker of the cow is Sri Krishna. Dogdha Gopala Nandanaha. The protector of the cows, who is the joy of all the Gopas in Gokula. Nandanaha. Partho Vatsaha. Who is the calf? Parthaha. Arjuna is the Vatsa, the calf. Dugdham. And what is the milk? Gita Amritam. The Amrita of the Bhagavad Gita is the milk. What is the Amrita of the Bhagavad Gita? Knowledge of the self. Knowledge of who I am is the Amrita. So in the same way, there are many verses in the Upanishads that bring out this knowledge. In the Brahma Sutra, also the fourth sutra, Tattu Samanvayat. Vedavyasa resolved all the apparent differences and contradictions of the mystical statements of the Vedas through the Brahma Sutras. And he said the contradictions are only apparent. They are not real. The purpose of the entire Vedas is to give us that truth. What is the nature of knowledge? The nature of knowledge is to show the object of knowledge as it is. Here, the object of knowledge is the subject, and the subject is shown as it is. What is the nature of that subject? Consciousness is the nature of subject. So when knowledge is born, what is born? That is consciousness. Consciousness is nature of the self. Sorry, I think I missed a verse in between. Or did I not? Yes, I came to the 19th verse by error of skipping the pages. I did not chant the 18. Okay, sorry. The 16th verse I read and then I went to the 18th verse. Verse 17. द्वे विद्ये वेदितव्ये तु शब्द ब्रह्म परं च यत् शब्द ब्रह्मणि निष्णातः परं ब्रह्माधिगच्छति. द्वे विद्ये वेदितव्ये तु. There are two vidyas. One is Paravidya and the other is Aparavidya. Apara means not, para means supreme, Apara means not supreme. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, Vibhuti Yoga, Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam. Among all the forms of knowledge, I am Adhyatma Vidya. I am the knowledge of the self. So there is Paravidya, which is Adhyatma Vidya. Aparavidya is not Adhyatma Vidya, secular knowledge. All the chemistry, physics, science, economics, space studies, rocket science, then what else? Gemology, crystals, yoga, meditation, what else? Everything else. Mathematics, everything is Aparavidya. Apara means something other than the supreme, which means it is not less in its stature or anything. That what is that Aparavidya meant for? That Aparavidya is like a ladder that helps us to climb in our progress to the knowledge of the supreme. So that ladder is also very important. The ladder is a great support for people who don't have any clue. For the person who is going to study PhD in algebra, he has to climb the ladder of Aparavidya, of learning to write the numbers in LKG and UKG, beginning to learn the multiplication tables from standard 1 onwards, learning by heart the multiplication tables, and then from standard 5 onwards, he has to learn the process of how this multiplication division happens, and then he has to get into geometry, trigonometry, algebra, and regular mathematics from standard 7 onwards, and pass the standard 12 exams, study BSc mathematics in college, MSc mathematics, do his MPhil, and only then he can come to the Paravidya in mathematics, which is PhD, or even further than that in the realm of mathematics. I'm not saying Paravidya is mathematics. Mathematics is Aparavidya, but I'm giving an example of Paravidya in terms of Aparavidya, in the form of Aparavidya. So what all is included in Aparavidya here? Not only mathematics and science, not only our secular knowledge, even in the world, the Vedangas, the Siksha, Vyakarana. Siksha means phonetics. Vyakarana is grammar, etymology. Vyakarana is grammar. Nirukta is etymology. Chandas or meter. This poetry should have this meter. So many letters in this meter. All that is etymology. Chandas. Jyotisha is astrology. Astronomy and mathematics will come under Jyotisha. And Kalpa. Kalpa is how to do the yagnas, how to do the rituals, which god you can appease through which means, which god likes what, and how should you do that, what shraddha you should have to do this. Everything is mentioned in Kalpa. So all these also are included in the Aparavidya. Aparavidya means not full knowledge about the self. Scriptural knowledge, the Upanishads, Vedanta, the Vedas are all scriptural knowledge. In Aparavidya, secular knowledge is there, the scriptural knowledge of the Upanishads, which includes the Vedas and the Vedanta. The Vedas and the Vedanta is in the scriptural knowledge in Aparavidya. Om is also Aparavidya. The essence of the scriptures, which is Om, is also Aparavidya. It is a means. It is a means to the goal. If I want to reach the other shore of knowledge, I take the means of these boats or the shipping cruisers on which I can travel. So, what is Paravidya? Paravidya is the knowledge by which the truth is realized. Yaya aksharam adhigamyate. It is the direct means of realization or sakshat sadhana. When I sit in meditation, I don't need any tool. All the tools are given up. I just know who I am. By myself, when I come to know who I am, that is Paravidya, Viveka Shakti. It is not chanting any mantra, it is not remembering something, but it is that Viveka Shakti of self and not self, which is pointed out by the Vedas, which I apply it. And that leads me to the knowledge of who I am. Sakshat sadhana or self-realization is Paravidya. And what are the means? Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. So by Shravana, I do Shravana of Aparavidya to the Vedas, the Upanishads, the mantras. I will get Paroksha Jnana, means the bookish knowledge will be there. Aparavidya is bookish knowledge. Paravidya is knowing for myself very clearly, completely. That is wisdom, that I am the supreme self. When I realize that and I remain in that state, then that is Paravidya. So that is the 17th verse. And because of that 17th verse, there are two types of Vidya, Paravidya and Aparavidya. And even this Paravidya, when we study the scriptures, when we know the meaning of it, then what should be done? The scriptures have to be given up. Gavam Aneka Varnanam. Yes, why the scriptures have to be given up? Because the knowledge from all the scriptures is the same. The knowledge of all the scriptures is not very different. So verses 21, 22, 20, 21 and 22, we will complete tomorrow in our 108th episode of Vedanta Shravana Sadhana Yagna in the 13 months since we began last year. Om 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 Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kasyit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Bole Shri Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai Har Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadeva Hari Om.